Hello! I read 7 books in September. If anyone watched my TBR video, I obviously put off way more than I could chew. But it's okay. Today I'm doing a reading wrap up of the 7 books that I read in, what's the month? September. First off, obviously I read Corrupt, or it was more of I reread Corrupt. I just wanted to read the Devil's Night series, so I have all 4 of the books now, and I read this one on my Kindle last year, and I was just rereading it so that I can then read the entire rest of the series. I listened to the majority of it on audiobook, and then I read the end of it in paperback. This book is about this girl named Erica and this guy named Michael. It's a dark romance, so it's not for everyone. They don't like each other very much. Erica is Michael's little brother's girlfriend, so Erica and Michael have never really been friends with each other, known each other, except for one night a really long time ago. So Erica basically, she moves to a new city, into a new apartment building, and she runs into Michael and Michael's friends, and from there all hell breaks loose. The one thing you know is that 3 years ago, Erica was the reason that his 3 friends got put in prison. So there's sort of some animosity there, and it's sort of they try to take revenge, and yeah, so it's a dark romance, not for everyone. It gets a bit creepy sometimes. Definitely an 18+ book. I gave this one a 4 stars, and I feel like I actually enjoyed it so much more the second time around than the first time around reading it. And then I read Shatter Me, which is a very popular series on TikTok. I've been meaning to read it for a while. Shatter Me, it's a dystopian book. It's basically about this girl named Juliet who was born with lethal touch. So whenever she touches someone, it kills them basically. And she has been in a insane asylum for a year, almost a year, until one day the re-establishment who controls the country has plans for her, and they sort of try to use her to do stuff for them. It's YA, it's pretty easy and quick to read. I gave it a 3 stars because I enjoyed it, but there's other books that I like more, but I do know that a lot of people say that it's the 3rd books when it gets really good, so I have the 3rd book and I'm hopefully gonna read the 2nd and 3rd book this month. And then I did some more rereads. I reread Court of Mist and Fury, which if you don't know is the 2nd book in the Akatar series, which is a YA / new adult fantasy book. That's got named Feyre, who she's human, but she ends up in the land of the Fae by one of the High Lords. Basically, the High Lords rule different parts of Prithian. She's taken by one of the High Lords and has to live there with him to make up for something that she did. And this is the 2nd book. They are fantasy. There's a lot of world building, a lot of character building. It's amazing. I love it. This book is the best book of the trilogy. Yeah, and I gave this one a 5 stars because it was so good. I haven't read it in a year, and I just forgot how obsessed I am with this entire book, the entire world, the characters. And then I reread the first 3 books in the Throne of Glass series. So Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Ear of Fire. Throne of Glass is another fantasy YA book by the same author as Court of Mist and Fury. This one is about Selena Sardothian, who has been in the mines for a year. She gets taken out of the mines by the Crown Prince to compete in the King's tournament to see who will become his champion. And then throughout the book you get to see the competition and all the other competitors, and then the 2nd book and the 3rd book, which read the 1st book first. I gave this 4 stars, I think. I gave this a 4.2 stars. And then I gave this a 5 stars. I definitely liked this one a lot more than I did the first time. And then there was one other audiobook that I listened to this month. I listened to Neon Gods by Katie Robert, which is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I did really like this book. I gave it 3 stars. There was a lot of spice in this book. Definitely look up content warnings, because some of that was very interesting and not what I expected to find in that book. So Persephone's mother had sold her to Zeus for Zeus to marry, but Zeus is a murderous evil dude, so Persephone was not going for that. So she ran away and ends up in the underworld with Hades, and they strike up a deal, a fake dating deal, except it's not really fake, so that Zeus will forget about her and just leave her alone. And it's very modernized. Like there was a scene where Hades was literally in a Zoom meeting, a Greek retelling, and Hades is in a Zoom meeting. How often do you see that? I did enjoy it, definitely 18 plus, but I did enjoy it more than I thought. And it was so funny listening to the audiobook. I think listening to audiobooks are sometimes so funny, especially when they have two narrators, because whenever the male's doing the girl's voice, it always just sounds funny. So those are all the books that I read this month. If you enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If not, that's alright. You can subscribe too if you want. But anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. So bye bye.